disconnected. Okay. So you'll start to see people head over. Or you should. There we go. I've seen people move over. They can hear me.
Welcome to McArthur Live with a little delay there. Sorry, everybody.
Take two.
Take two. I'm Tim.
I'm Sarah.
And thank you for joining us. If you listen to the podcast, you didn't hear a delay because I'm going to cut all that out. But yes, we did have some issues. So we actually share this not only on YouTube, but also on LinkedIn usually on Twitter. And then this week I tried doing LinkedIn, and for some reason I had the time set at 7:18. And when you adjust the timing, it won't do that on LinkedIn. So I had to completely delete it and start a new one. So hopefully people trickle in. Only have 19 people in here now, but hopefully people will find it shortly. And here, let me go ahead and create a post on YouTube here for us real quick while we're doing that. And we'll get it going. But those of you that are listening to us, don't forget, you can find us on any of your favorite podcasting platforms. We're going to be putting it over there. But if you want to join us live over here at McArthur, we can. So popping this in here.
Eco boost.
All right, there we go. So now hopefully people can jump in and get that notification and get over here. So we'll let people drive over. There we go. Now the chats are pumping. All right, so we got people in here now.
Happy,
so.
You're not late. We were late. You're okay.
We were late, yeah. We just started. Only a few minutes late, right? All right. So anyway, well, thank you guys very much. And I, in the process of doing that, did not get my notes. So let's grab those off, and we'll have it on the screen here for us.
Yay.
So this get a little input on what's going on lately for us. So this last week, we got a chance to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, the home of racing, as they will say.
Yes.
So we got a chance to go there. We went there for a particular reason. A lot of people thought the reason we went there was because of the Dark Horse R reveal,
which we did not know
and that
about.
was actually not the reason we went there. So if you guys watched the video Saturday that we did on, you knew the reason we went there was to get a tour of the RTR lab, or you might say,
yes.
They call it the lab because it's not really their factory. That's not where they produce things. No. That is
where they design, they put together, they work on making all of the pieces and parts perfect. Mm-hmm. So that way when they send it to production and the factories where they're built, it's perfect every single time to go on the vehicles.
As they say, nobody's perfect, so not maybe every single time, but that's what they strive for. So
yes, he mentioned that multiple times.
Yeah.
We're all human. Nobody's perfect.
Yes. All right. So anyway, so that was a lot of fun. So, and actually, I had some things here.
Yeah. So we went there for the lab, and then he's just like, "Are you going to the event?"
Yep.
What event?
So we headed over there. So check out some of the pictures there. So there we are chatting, and actually had very good conversation, not only during on camera. I thought some good stuff on camera, but also off camera as well. And so that was a blast. So he showed us around, showed us, their showcase or showroom.
Showcase vehicles.
Yes. And basically vehicles that he would probably never get rid of. Some of his, like that white
carbon
one.
Fiber. His white one is one of his first.
Yep.
He has a blue one in there that you can't see, which is one of his very first that he built out. gave it to his dad. When his dad passed, it's now his son's.
Yep. And so it was a lot of fun. And then there's a blue one there that they were making for a customer, because now they're doing it to where you can go and get one built by them at their lab, and then come and pick it up. So that's this blue one was there in this picture to be picked up.
And then, of course, that one up on the lift is his original Mustang that he got for racing.
Yep. So anyway, a blast there. And then he showed us around. You can see right in the middle there is a truck there. He says, you can tell it's a truck, but you can't tell anything else. I can't show you anything else about that one. That is a project with Ford. There you go. So that's a little close up of that. And we kind of know what that is. That's their racing version of the Lightning. So for the Red Bull Racing. So that we'll be seeing that revealing at some point. And he didn't
wheels.
He didn't say when. Yeah, you can kind of see the wheels there.
Although they're kind of hidden as well. So
yeah. So anyway, and then we talked Maverick with him. So we said, we know you have Mustang, have Bronco stuff through Funhaver. You have something for Bronco Sport, mach-e. What are you thinking about Maverick? And he actually answered that right now you can get these wheels that you see right now in the picture. That's actually on a Bronco Sport on our lot. You can get the wheels, tires, and lift for a Maverick right now. So you can get those from them. We can order them as well.
Because they work on a Bronco Sport.
Yes. So they work on Bronco Sport. They work on Maverick. So they're lift, wheels, tires, and they don't have graphics yet, but some of the graphics sometimes they're best. The graphics are really good. Anyway, so there you go. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. So it was a lot of fun. He talked about the Maverick, and he's
I think we spent a good 20 minutes talking about it.
I think we enlightened him a little bit about Maverick and how that could be something for them to get into, that people can have.
It's the people that are into social media, into a lower cost modification, but still want that quality, because they have quality at lower cost.
Yep. So anyway,
and
then we did go to the Dark Horse event, and let me make sure that's my next picture. There we go. So we did go to the Carlisle event. So we talked to not Carlisle, Charlotte. Sorry, we went to the Charlotte Speedway and got invited to that. So he did make a phone call for us and got us into that event. So we got a chance to see that along with a bunch of other Maverick enthusiasts, which, since the live stream didn't work right, you guys didn't see the full clip. Maybe we'll throw that in at the end so you guys can watch that. It's like 2 minutes that I put in together. And so if you're members, you get a chance to see this on Saturday. But for those that didn't, we'll throw that in at the end, just a couple minutes of that as we finish out the live stream. But the Dark Horse. So this in here is the race version of the Dark Horse. And so this is not a street legal vehicle you can get. You'll notice the red on the grill up there, and that is, it's got front and rear tie down points and hooks, so you can pick this up and then put it in a trailer and then take it to your favorite track and race with it. So you're going to have that on there. We got a chance to get up and close to it. Sarah, these are pictures Sarah got for us here. So you can see the Recaro seats, those racing seats, the quick release steering wheel. You can see that steering wheel has been moved. It's actually kind of up by the seat up there. You got the racing harness. You got the fire suspension system. You got the Safecraft safety nets. The whole thing, everything inside to make it a racing version.
There are no extra seats.
Yes, no extra seats. They pull them all out for you. So they do basically, this is a turnkey. So you don't have to put the roll cage in and everything else. It's already done for you.
We've actually catered to some racers here. We've actually bought or got them vehicles through wherever, and we actually had one here that we sold because someone traded it in. And it wasn't street legal. I remember we had to have the service manager who is actually legally allowed to drive those. He had to mold it in for me, remove steering wheel, everything.
So under the engine bay, they do upgrade the transmission cooling, the differential cooling, the racing exhausts as Borla as well. And then the Ford Performance oil pan in there. And then also of course, you saw the roll cage. You can kind of see that there. That's put in it, of course, and all the other stuff. The adjustable front camber plates, the anti-roll bars, all that's in there. And then you do have there's kind of where the stage was, and you can kind of see that image there. But performance, ABS, of course, the Brembo racing calipers in the front and the rotors, and the Brembo race pads. This thing is ready to race. So, and even does give you some different flow form wheels. I think they're 11 in the rear and 10.5 wide in the front. And the tires are really cool. I got actually some pictures. They're not here, but some nice close-up pictures of the tires as well. So this thing is going to be basically, like they said, turnkey. So you can just take it out and race it. And they're actually doing a racing series behind this, just Ford Dark Horse only. So you can people that get them. So that's pretty cool. So it was a lot of fun. Anyway,
fun fact: Frankie Muniz. I did not know he went from the screen, Malcolm in the Middle, to being a Ford racer.
Yeah,
I was excited about that. I grew up watching him, but he was actually the one that drove that in.
Yeah, he was. So, and he did some cool interviews, including Von Gittin was interviewed while we're waiting there. So, all right.
I heard a lot of the same stuff that he said in our video.
Yeah.
They asked him very similar questions.
So, Vaughn is a great guy. He's fun. He'll be here August 24th at the garage, actually. He'll be there because the Hoonigan truck is there, which he had a part in building and making, from what we understand. And
he kept calling it the Hoonicorn.
The Hoona truck, didn't he?
No, the Hoonicorn.
Hoonicorn.
Well, it's the Hoonigan truck, but it's very rare, so the Hoonicorn.
Yeah. So if you want to come to that event, that's the 24th. We'll get more information on that. And he even did a little promo clip for us for that. So in his style that he always does. Okay, so it'll be a lot of fun. We've had him here before. Mm-hmm. In fact, when we came and met at the event, he goes, "You look familiar."
Yes.
I said, "She probably looks a little thinner because she was pregnant at the time."
I was 8 months pregnant, and I was the photographer for the entire
and
day.
He goes, "That's right." So anyway, he recognizes. So that's really cool to see there, and so.
Yeah,
but it was a lot of fun.
His son's actually, I think, within the same time frame as well.
That's right.
So they're really close there.
So anyway, okay, there you go. So that was what we had. What's going on lately for us, and of course, this week is going to be a busy week, a very fun week. It'll be a very fun week, but it'll be busy. We're going to have a lot of people coming to the Maverick meetup in Salina. At Oakdale Park. So if you're in close proximity, you might want to come by and check that out.
Yes.
It'll be a lot of fun. Saturday, 11 to 1 at Oakdale Park. And then we have a lot of people coming in to pick up their vehicles, their Mavericks this week. So we have some people starting to arrive tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
We have a couple people coming tomorrow.
At least one tomorrow with the Culpeppers. Let me see. And then we have 2 the next day.
Yeah, pull that up because we can do right now. We're about ready to get into membership. So if you do want to be a member, here, let's go ahead and talk about that, Sarah.
All right. So to become a member, it's right there by that subscribe button. So while you're subscribing, you can join. So once you click on that, then you can join us. You'll get special content, community tab, and your membership tab. So you get a live every Friday. You get special access to stuff. We post about our lives. We have special videos in there. So lots of fun. We also have a special Discord. If you're an iPhone user, you have to do things differently. So you have to go to your web browser and then go up to the top where the link is, hit the little A and big A, and request desktop browser. At that point, you should be able to see it.
Yep. And so all the members. Because speaking of that, we have a lot of members that are coming this week. So who else is coming this week?
Well, and our members get a special Friday night evening meetup. So we have the Culpeppers. They'll be arriving tomorrow in the morning. So they're getting picked up. And then we have the next day, we have Deke, Dennis, Carl, and Deke and Dennis are flying in. They'll get in Wednesday night and be picked up Thursday to take delivery of their Mavericks. And then the next day we have Carl, Snips, Joe, and Gino that I will be driving to pick up. And I think Ridgeview said he was up to riding with me to Wichita to help me.
Yep.
And I have messages I'll message you later, Ridgeview. And then driving, we have the Gerwalds And fact, they will be in on Friday to also pick up their Mavericks. Driving in, we have Ridgeview and his daughter Aurora. We have Alan, Kevin, Brandon, McArthur, Blanca, and Terry. So overall, 17 members joining us with their families for a total of 37 people with Niles, his wife, Tim, my Tim, my mom. I think Jeff was planning to come, and me and Lebo. So 37 people.
Time. Yeah. And a lot of fun on Saturday. So it's going to be a busy week, fun week. A lot of people taking delivery of their Maverick. So can't wait to be able to meet them in person.
Meet everyone.
All right. So do we have any, I don't know if you tagged anybody with all the fiasco of starting up. So, but I guess a shout out to all those people. And thank you guys for being members. We got, Mahathi's actually said in here, 20 months. He said, wow, trying to psych myself up to drive 900 miles and not back out. Looking forward to being there, though. See you Friday. So I made the drive there. You got to make the drive here. Of course, they did already once, but anyway.
So wait, did you drive to Mahathi?
I went to Tennessee. That's where he's from.
That's right.
Yep.
It's not as bad as driving with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. Would you like to borrow them for your trip?
Well, he's got his first edition, so we'll hopefully see that.
Would you like to put my 3-year-old in your first edition?
Yeah, it'll be all fun.
I can tell you it'll be sticky.
Head this way. Come on up. Start now. I will after the live stream. Start tomorrow. All right. Anyway, so thanks everybody. If you want to be a member, you guys know what to do, and it's a lot of fun. So, all right. Let's see what else. I got my notes here. What else did I talk about?
The transit on the lot is actually the airport shuttle. You're right, Vols. Apparently, someone's looking at our website very often, checking our inventory for us.
Well, I did it on the log. I said this might be the van we're come pick up in. All right. So also see videos that went live this last week. We had the RTR video, Bronco Sport Big Bend video, and the Heritage one went live today, and we'll have one each day. Right. We got 3 more left this week. And working on Super Duty videos. Those are long and extensive. Those might take a little longer. But we'll get those going. And so this next week, we'll see Bronco Sport and Super Duty complete guide videos. And next week, you'll probably see, well, I don't know. I guess I can't talk about broadcast. So you might not see a video from me on Bronco after all. I'll wait till it hits Bronco 6G. They'll put it out there. And once they get it, I'm good. All right. Anyway, other than that, don't forget about the channels that we like to support. And when I say support, it's channels that I'm subscribed to and channels that if they have membership, I'm members of their channels as well. So we have those down in the description too. Check out their videos. It was on All Terrain Nation last night. It was a lot of fun. So little impromptu. I was working on the live stream for tonight, and it's like, hey, you want to come join us? I'm like, okay, sure. So we talked Bronco last night. And if you want to go back and rewatch that, it's always a fun time. All Terrain Nation is just like people, friends hanging out and talking Broncos. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, Jordan from Bronco Nation was on there. So yeah, it was got a little rowdy. Not really. Rowdy for adults. Anyway, okay, moving on. Let's see here. What else we got? Anything else? I got a good dealer moment. Do you want to go get the printout off the printer?
Yes.
And it's the second page. We'll have her get that, and then what happened to my? It's the third page. Sorry, it's 3 pages. Anyway, all right. Well, she's getting that. Yes. Thanks everybody for joining us. Did we get back up? Does everybody figure out where we're at? No, not really. So everybody's still waiting on the other live stream, probably. Oh well. Hopefully they figure it out. So. All right. Find it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I get to read it. Okay. Man. All right.
Drinking the beer tonight. A&W. And for those listening, it's A&W root beer.
Niles, does that meet your standards? All right. My salesman called yesterday morning to tell me that my truck was in and I could pick it up. I told him that for medical reasons, I might not be able to get it until late in the week. He said, no problem. When the shop is done with the pre-delivery work, I'll deliver it to your drive. The dealership is 30 miles away. Sure enough, at 1 p.m. he arrived. 2023 Lariat Area 51 500A, both Copilot 360s, everything but sunroof. To their credit, they did not try to upsell anything. Final price $35,885 was actually a little less than the $300 less than what I figured. Nice little surprise. The dealership is rolling forward of Shell Rock, Iowa. The salesman is Dakota Klingfuss. They did not require a deposit and promised the truck at MSRP. Promise kept. They are a small dealership just west of Waverly, Iowa, where they will have a Chevy dealership. If you're in the area, I would recommend either. The Chevy dealership had Pontiacs when they were still being made. I bought a 2010 Vibe Matrix from them then. Chevy Pontiac dealership. Easy people to deal with, and they won't. In my 2 experiences, try and screw you over.
All right, and that's their Maverick right there on the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, forgot to put that up at the beginning. I was like, wait a minute, I got a picture of that. Now, this is from Weatherman. If you're on the Maverick Truck Club, that's who that came from. So you guys probably see him. He posts in there all the time. So there you go. All right, another good dealer in Iowa.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right, moving on. Yeah, now so this Tim called it drinking you. I didn't say that. I says I was drinking beer tonight. All right, root beer. Okay, and I wanted to preface that. All right, because I put my drink up, but those that were listening in on the podcast probably want to make sure that since I couldn't see it. All right, let's get into some scheduling.
We drink responsibly around here, and we are at work right now, so we are not drinking.
Yeah,
anything but water and beer of the root beer.
Beer of the root. All right, let's get into some scheduling notes and information this week. Not a lot of vehicles that are scheduling this week. So 24 must. Oh, wait. Before we get into that, almost forgot. Let's go over this real quick. And I need to add some things to this probably. People have reminded me. So what we're talking about here is this is scheduling information. That's basically what that means is that if you have an order in to a dealer, a local dealer, whatever, any dealer, I guess, and you're waiting, your order has to get scheduled for a production date to get built and then get delivered to your dealership. So when we talk about scheduling, it is, of course, like the 5th line down there, scheduling there, it says when Ford schedules an order for production date in future months. So when we say, hey, they're scheduling for these weeks, that's the weeks that we talk about are the production date weeks or dates that they're looking to produce vehicles, and they'll get scheduled to wait to the week, and then they'll get scheduled to the day before it gets built. To get scheduled, your dealer has to have an allocation. So right under that, you can see Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. The dealer needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. So like, for instance, if a vehicle is scheduling this week, but we as a dealership doesn't have any allocations, doesn't matter. We won't get an order scheduled. And then dealer earns those allocations based on their sales for each model within their region. Now, we will talk about some different constraints that are going on. Some things are limited. Some things are exhausted availability. Those are called constraints. Those are options that are in short supply or for some reason may take longer to build. And sometimes we'll even go over capacity of what their capacity run is for each, maybe motor or trim or option. We're going to talk about hybrid in a little bit with actually some good news on the Maverick hybrid, I should say. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And then some situations we're going to start talking balance out. Balance out means that they're not going to produce any more of that particular option, model, or color in some cases. So that's kind of what all that means. And the rest of it should be pretty good. Priority codes, sometimes we'll get into that. A retail priority code is anything from 3 to 19 now. They have changed that. And 20 to 80 is your stock allocation. So there you go. All right. So if any other questions about that, we're going to talk about scheduling. So if you have any questions regarding what I've been talking about certain questions about scheduling or anything like that, pop those in there at Sarah Davis, and she'll answer those and such. We're going to try to answer questions based on each of the different sections we're going through. So, all right. So 24 model year Mustang. They're not going to do a lot of scheduling this week. They are looking to schedule in the months of September, but they did say that specialty Dark Horse balance to go scheduling. So if your dealership has a Dark Horse order that needs to be scheduled or an allocation that needs to be fulfilled, they're going to try to fulfill those. And it says some orders will be scheduled into October build dates. So, all right.
Sorry, it's bedtime.
Limited availability on the silver painted alloy wheel. Of course, since they're not really scheduling most everything else, like we have 3 allocations to be used, but we don't have any dark horse allocations, and we had nothing previewing this week. So most of these situations, it won't matter except for dark horse. Exhaust availability on dark horse right now is the handling package. So if you do, as a dealer, have an allocation out there for a dark horse, make sure you have a dark horse order that doesn't have a handling package on there, or else you probably won't get that one fulfilled. So something to note there. But for future weeks going forward, probably next week and such, keep in mind the Mustang Night Pony package is exhausted right now due to the black painted roof. So you may want to make sure you take those off, as well as limited availability on that wheel. I was talking about a wheel option is 64V. That's that 19-inch shadow silver painted aluminum wheel. So, all right. And right now, there's about 921 retail orders in the order bank, not counting dark horse. So let me have those ready. We'll go through those as we're going through these. 23 Escape looks like it is not scheduling this week, and we did find out that today that the order banks are going to be opening up for 24 Escape August 14th. They're supposed to be broadcast next week to talk about that one and another model, which I'll tell you in a little bit. Job 1 will start on November 13th. Job 1 means that's the start of production for 24 model year. And then they're going to finish 23 production on November 9th. So it'll take a couple of days to switch things over. So right now there's 920 retail orders in the order bank for Escape, for 23 Escape. So, and there's no really major constraints on the Escape right now. So, but it's not scheduled this week anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right. 23 Bronco Sport. They are doing cleanup scheduling, so they are balancing out, which means they're trying to fill those last production for 2023 model year and be done with that and move on. There is 480 retail orders that need to be scheduled in the order bank right now, so hopefully people get those finished up. We have 8 allocations, but I think we only have 1 retail order. So, yeah. But anyway, other than that, so they did say limited availability on Big Ben, though, by the way. So hopefully you got a Outer Banks or Badlands order there for that. Let's see. Outside of that, other constraints. I mean, the numbers are going to look pretty close just because there's only 480. So of the 480, those are the numbers. So that's why I probably won't go over those, because they're kind of not really of any value at this point, because it's going to be a high number on any of those, because that's all that's left, right? So, all right. 24 model year Edge is not scheduling this week. There's 293 24 model year Edge retail orders in the order bank that are unscheduled, so not too many in there. The 2.7 liter engine is 17% of the retail orders right now. Other than that, there's not really any constraints on those, to be honest. All right. What else? 24 Bronco. Put this off to the side. 23 Bronco. Sorry, 23 Bronco is not scheduling this week. And the order bank will open up on the 14th of August. I think that's actually been dropped in like the Bronco 6G forum, but now it's yeah. I actually hadn't seen any official word on that anywhere, other than probably some people within Ford telling other people. But there you go. Now it's official. And there's going to be broadcast next week as well on the 8th for that. But as you know, I can't talk about any broadcast information anymore. So unless somebody drops screenshots on the Bronco 6G and gets themselves in trouble, then I can. We'll see how that goes. All right. So currently, of course, there's again, no scheduling this week. There's 12,700 orders in the order bank. It looks like we have one more month of scheduling for 23 model year. I think this next month will be for, because I think they're building into they're going to be scheduling for, I got to always think about this, August for September, October build dates. So maybe be a little bit, I think they're doing like a 6-week run this month to finish out Bronco for scheduling. So I think we have 9 allocations and we have like 11 orders. Well, we have more than 11, but as you're going to see, Heritage Edition is not one of those that is getting scheduled. They don't even have any notes in here for Bronco this week, but they did say two-door Heritage and Heritage Limited is being, it's like a stop build right now. So they did do a call today for dealers. They call it wholesale call to go over stuff for next month, and they said two-door Heritage and Heritage Limited Edition is on a stop build at this point. So probably if you, at this point in time, if you have a Heritage or Heritage Limited order in the order bank that's unscheduled, it probably will have to be re-put in for 24. That's what I'm hearing probably. So now on those people, I could see them giving a private offer, even though they said they're not going to for anybody rolled over, because some of those people are customers that had a carryover that got a chance to get that ordered early on that still hasn't been scheduled. So we'll have to see. Hopefully they got most of those scheduled prior to that. But anybody with a new 23 order probably will not get a private offer to go to 24. But we do have about half of our orders in our order bank are Heritage Editions. The rest of them probably will get scheduled. So anyway, all right. So moving on. There you go. I won't go over the capacities on everything on that. So we do know that if you're looking at a 4-door cloth top Badlands or Wild Track, that's going to fly right through. We had somebody that actually last month we got an extra allocation for a customer because we had no cloth top 4-doors in.
Mm-hmm.
We put one in on the 10th and it got scheduled like within a week or within 10 days. Not the 10th. I don't know. We had one that got scheduled in 10 days though. I looked at when it was put in and it got scheduled in 10 days. And I'm thinking they gave us an extra one because they needed some cloth tops and we had submitted that order and then they just pushed it through. So that kind of shows you if you're wanting one quick, that can happen. So, but they did say another good build is a 2-door Badlands or 2-door Wild Track too. So keep that in mind. All right. 23 Explorer is not scheduling this week. Looks like those allocations we have are going to get carried over. There's about 1,087 orders in the order bank that are unscheduled for the Explorer. But since they're not scheduling, there's not much to need to talk about that. 24 Expedition is not scheduling either. As you can tell, they're finishing out production for this year, for July. Next week is when we're going to start seeing scheduling for August, scheduling for like mostly October build dates. So 24 Expedition. Won't talk about constraints. There's 551 retail orders in the order bank for Expedition, so not that many. All right. 23 Maverick. They are, again, just like Bronco Sport, trying to finish out for a balance out for production for the Maverick. So that's happening. They actually have a note in here. Limited availability on the splash guards. Look, I haven't been saying that for a year, but in case you really needed to know and need it in writing, limited availability for splash guards. In case you haven't taken them off yet, you're not been watching my videos, but there you go. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. You know what the capacities are there. Hybrid production is at 50% right now for finishing out 23. Yeah. And that might carry over to next month. Just saying. Okay. 24 Ranger is not scheduling this week. There's 2,852 orders, retail orders in the order bank. I assume not counting Raptor. It doesn't actually say that on the sheet, but normally it doesn't count specialty vehicles. All right, moving on. All right.
Al says it's crazy how fast you can get the splash guards, though.
Yeah.
It's just hard for them to get them in Hermosillo.
Well, any of the places, though. I won't get into that. Today they were really trying to push dealer installed options and put dealer installed options on your orders. And I'm like, and they said it will not hold you up for scheduling. I'm like, bull. It will too. It will hold it up.
Yeah. For those wondering, I'm not wearing my blanket today because it is 107.
Not in here.
No, but the air conditioning isn't touching me today because
I don't know. Fans are going though. All right.
Yeah. It's just not touching me today.
Yep. 23 F-150. They are scheduling for production weeks of 8/28. So dates just in 4 weeks. So you could get scheduled. We do have a few allocations for that. And just a note in here, heated steering wheel availability is returning to the 23 F-150s now. So you can remove the heated steering wheel removal option. So take option 94X off your orders talk to your dealers, make sure that's it's done. They did say in here that any retail orders placed before Friday, the 21st of July, will be built as ordered unless the dealer removes the 94X. Of course, we told you that like 2 weeks ago. It does say most existing 23 F-150 stock orders with heated steering wheel removal that have not been built will have the option removed by Ford at the factory before making those. So, and that goes for anything built pretty much after July 24th should have the steering wheel, heated steering wheel, if that option is available and you have it and would get it as standard equipment, then you'll have it. So, little note here. They did talk about scheduling for August because now we're going to talk about Lightning and EV. We're going to talk about everything electrified. So we're not just a full electric. We're going to talk about hybrid, plug-in, and everything, and just a little bit. And we'll get into Lightning. But so they are scheduling in August for September and October build weeks. So they're going to schedule for 6-week run, and 51% of what they're going to schedule is going to be XLT trim. And 0% is going to be Pro. So, and 32% Lariat, if you want to know that. So, anyway, all right. Okay, we're going to kick back to Super Duty now. And and F-150, there's only 2,900 orders in the order bank, not counting Raptor and Lightning. So, yeah, we don't really, we have like one retail order in there, I think. All right. Anyway, and then Super Duty. So, the Super D is scheduling this week for build dates coming up. They said Kentucky Truck Plant, they're going to be scheduling for build weeks from the weeks of August 21st to the weeks of September 25th. And Ohio Truck Plant's going to be scheduling for build weeks of September 11th through October 23rd, because Ohio, they're building through October, whereas in Kentucky Truck Plant, they're stopping off at the end of September. So that week. So this is 23 model year balance out scheduling. So they're going to finish out this. I noticed this week we had some order. I looked at the orders previewing for us this week. We have a good number of our King Ranches and Platinum orders that are previewing this week. So, and cabin chassis. So we've actually mentioned a lot of constraints in here. I mean, I don't know if I want to talk about them this week, but because we're seeing some previewing, I think maybe that's going out the window because they need to get these scheduled. We didn't even have 12 Lariats that are previewing as well, I noticed, and even some XLTs. So it looks like a variety of orders that are previewing for scheduling, I should say, for this week. So anyway, also, okay. Other than that, it does say all King Ranch and Platinum orders were mass spec changed to include the multi-contour seat removal. So just to note that happened back in June. I talked about that already. Limited availability on F550, limited Platinum King Ranch and Lariat Ultimate. But see, that's not true because we have some previewing that are King Ranch and Platinums. So that's why I think some of these notes are mainly for last week and they're just carried over. So I'm not going to go over those. Other than the Stone Gray and Azure Gray are balanced out. So they're done with that colors. We're going to talk about colors in a little bit. So whenever they have a color that's being discontinued and a new color's coming on, they probably already scheduled for those two colors that are going out because they want to be done with those. So just so you know, limited color though is Star White Metallic Tricoat. So if you have that on your order, more than likely you won't get scheduled. So you might want to take that and switch your color on that. Also, fifth wheel hitch kit is also one that's on there, as well as things I mentioned last week with some of those cabin chassis and such. But I don't know. We had 14 cabin chassis that are scheduling or previewing today as well. So we'll just have to see how that goes. But there you go. Super Duty. Alrighty. Super Duty. And there's still 27,000 retail orders in order bank that need to get scheduled. I'm not sure why, but there's still 1,700 and Friday 99. Great job, dealers. All right. Mach-e. Got the Mach-e sheet here. So Mach-e is not scheduling this week. So no scheduling. I did get information today about August scheduling, though, and that for August, most of the trim levels that they're looking to schedule for, a big chunk of the schedule will be premium editions. 0% will be California Route 1. So if you have a California Route 1, you can take the month of August off. You're not going to get scheduled. It doesn't look like, but that could change. You never know. So, and if you do, then go get a lottery ticket. All right. And right now, there's only 34 orders in the order bank. So your brother's order is one of 34 orders in the order bank for mach-e. So select is going to be a low number next month, so maybe he'll get scheduled. I think we have 3 allocations that we're supposed to get next month, plus the 2 we still have. So we might end up having 5. So, all right. Let's see what else. Transit Connect cleanup scheduling. They are scheduling for production weeks in September for both the van and wagon. Not much I can say there. There's about 4,300 orders in the order bank for Transit Connect. So that will take you about 6 months to get here once it's actually made. Coming overseas. All right. Transit. Move on to that. Transit production week for the week of September 25th is what they're scheduling for the Transit. And then same things as last week. Just keep in mind some options that are balanced out, which means that they're not going to schedule. If you have this on your order, they will not schedule your order. So the depopulated key fob, the power running board option, the side barn door option, that's option 59A, all crew van body codes, and the Transit 350 heavy duty dually cutaways, cab chassis, or cargo vans with that 10 360-pound GVWR. So, and then not available for stock ordering. Oh, wait, we won't worry about that stock. And then limit availability on several other options, but not completely. And trail package being one of those, as well as the power sliding doors. So, anyway, there you go. And then there's 15,000 Transit Connect orders in the order bank. I think that's including BEV, but I don't know. All right. Scheduling done. Any questions on scheduling?
There might be a few. Alan's staying at this place called Hotel Maverick. Look at that.
Salina.
No, it's in Colorado. It's really nice.
Probably a little pricey too.
Huh?
Probably a little pricey too.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. We'll check it out. Where's that in Colorado?
Yeah.
Buena Vista, maybe?
No.
Oh.
Where was it?
It'd be funny to go to a Bronco event and stay at Maverick Hotel. Kind of funny.
Right, Grand Junction, Colorado.
All right.
All right. Can you order a Super Duty Limited FX4 package with a 3.55?
Yes, I believe so. Because I know at one point that was an issue. They get the 350. I think it depends on what motor it is. Did you say what? What did you say?
3.55 gear ratio.
I know, but
FX4.
Yeah, FX4 and 355 is available with each other with the diesel engine. I don't think with the gas engine though. All right.
So if I have a 23 Super Duty in Azure Gray, there is 0 chance it's going to schedule.
That's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
That's what they're saying. It is balanced. That color's balanced out. We're going to talk about Maverick colors in a little bit. And so more than likely, I'm really surprised you haven't already been scheduled. I just put that out there. Well, not probably Azure Gray because they feel like there's a replacement color coming with Area 51 or not Area 51, but probably another blue. Yeah. They got another blue coming. So they feel like you have a replacement color that you could go with. That's just in a little different shade. So that's probably why they haven't scheduled it yet.
All right. Ghostang says, how many 23 Mavericks are unscheduled as of 8/1?
How many unscheduled Mavericks?
We can tell you our number, right?
Oh, did I not know go through that? It doesn't matter. I thought I mentioned. Oh, I guess I didn't.
I will tell you, Alan.
22,272 is what it says.
I will tell you, Alan. If I had to live anywhere except Kansas, because I absolutely adore Kansas, I absolutely love it, I would live in Colorado. Hands down.
Could use my Bronco more.
I absolutely love
question.
I love Colorado. When will the 24 Mavericks start scheduling, and when can you order 2450 F-150?
Okay, so first part of that question, 24 Mavericks should start scheduling next week or the week after.
Okay.
And 24 F-150 is coming soon. It's coming up in a month or two. I think they're going to have, I don't know, I had notes. Did I have notes on that?
Big reveal?
I'll get more notes next week from today's. It wasn't a broadcast. It was a wholesale for dealers. Okay, Okay, September next month they're going to balance out for productions for October. So it looks like they're going to produce F-150 through October or into October probably. So the month of September is when they will. That's the month they'll schedule for the end of production for F-124, which also means probably in September is when they're going to start open up the order banks for 24. So that's what I'd assume. I don't know though, because there's supposed to be a reveal at the Detroit Auto Show on the new F-150. So surely they won't let you start ordering an F-150 before they've revealed what it looks like. We'll see. Also, Transit and Lightning is doing balance out in September. Explorer's going to last longer, and Mach-E, because they're not going to do balance out until the balance out scheduling until October. So, and they usually schedule those 2 months out. So we're talking they're going to probably make Explorers and Mach-E's into December, the month of December. So there you go.
For those that are coming, those members that are coming to the Maverick meetup and the member meetup on Friday, don't worry, I'm sending out an email blast tomorrow with all the information you'll need. All right. Any word on the deadline for dealers to complete the certified order verification process for 24?
Until the order banks close, there's not technically a deadline. So usually what they do is kind of like, one of these we'll actually talk about on the Bronco. They give usually like a week after the order banks close for you to do the COVP. So typically, since the order banks haven't closed for the Maverick, that's why there's no deadline on COVP. But I would tell your dealer, we're telling sales guys too this week. We're like, I know you guys had a lot to do, but you got to get them done this week. So, because that's how we need those. The COVP verified order is what gives the priority and the private offer. Of course, private offer won't go into play really until the vehicle comes in. So you have a time for the private offer, but the prioritization, what's the most important? Once they see that prioritization, then they're going to kick those down to a certain priority, and they're going to be wanting to do all of them at one time. So we don't know what that date is, but I think we're going to get some information next week. I'm pretty confident we're going to get some information next week.
All right.
Anything else?
Do we ever run short on silver tins of chocolate chip cookies? The Maverick Truck Club was raving about them today.
The tins of chocolate chip cookies that we send out?
We send that through a company.
Yeah, they go through a cookie company.
Yeah.
We're switching that around to another one, I think. But anyway.
All right. What is happening with Bronco? Not really sure what you mean.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
No, there's not much to talk about. Bronco's scheduling. Broncos are being built. Broncos are coming in. 24 Bronco order banks are going to open up in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Not sure what else. Maybe we're talking about. Maybe you can emphasize on that for later. So.
Can you still order a 23 F-150 trimmer with a 5.0?
Yep.
Okay. And Super Duty Limited that I ordered, can it still be made for 23 in Star White?
Yes. So it's saying a limited availability, not balanced out. So as long as it doesn't say balanced out, there's still a chance.
Okay. What's the percentage chance cloth seats return for 24 Bronco? Don't know.
I was told that the vinyl seats was a job 2 going forward into 24 change.
Okay.
So what I could see is another trim level coming in to being a cloth seat would be my only thing I could see maybe happen. But for the trim levels that are currently going on, Big Ben is supposed to be vinyl, and the others, are supposed to be vinyl or leather on Outer Banks and such. So I don't see that changing from what I understand.
Okay. Last question before we move on. I just got my 23 F250 Lariat scheduled. How many times are deadlines getting moved? So how many times are they getting pushed back, or are we seeing that?
Super Duties, we don't usually see that on Super Duties. And if you've seen it on yours, then I'd love to know. But typically when they schedule Super Duties, they only schedule them like a month in advance. So they usually don't move those around. You don't usually see that happening much. Now, I was going to tell the person that asked about the Star White. Here is something you could maybe do, and I probably shouldn't mention this, but try going with like a different color, get it scheduled, and then having the dealer switch it to Star White. Sometimes that works.
A little workaround.
If you want to take the chance. If you don't want to take the chance of not losing Star White, then leave it. But
yeah. Do we want to talk about 23 Maverick reorders and how Ford is handling that? Or can we?
Reorders. Like
rollovers.
We're going to talk about Maverick later.
Okay, we're talking about Maverick later.
Keep that in mind.
Because I read the title and it's electric vehicle production. So I didn't know if we're touching on Maverick later or not.
We are going to talk about the 3 and what models are producing and such, percentage on some things, and what's the EV production. It's just kind of like my brain theory on EV and maybe where Ford should be looking at doing and what they are looking at for the future.
Yeah.
And then we're going to also get into Maverick after that.
Okay.
So there's a couple things in the last week that I've been enlightened on, and when it comes to Maverick from somebody at Ford, and so we're going to talk a little bit about Maverick as well. So bring those questions up during that time.
All right, perfect. Welcome to our live stream, where Tim plans everything and talks, and I answer the questions, and hope that I don't bring up questions before we talk about the topic.
I always tell you, I'll talk about that later if I need to.
Yeah.
All right. So we get into dealer news.
Yes, dealer news.
All right.
Did you know Dark Horse Embargo released today?
A bunch of Dark Horse videos went out. They've been doing like EcoBoosts, and then it was like GTs, and now it's Dark Horse. So yeah, all the I think the rides. So that's what they were doing at the Speedway that afternoon.
Yeah.
When we asked to get rides,
it was
and they
media.
said no. It was media getting those rides.
Because we are dealer media and not media.
Yeah. Anyway, we got to ride one already, though. We beat him to the punch. All right.
In New York, I would have rather had that
they
on
were
the
doing
racetrack.
Yeah, they were doing them on the racetrack, though. That was a lot of fun.
That would have been fun.
All right. So first off, let's talk about Bronco. So Bronco pricing did increase. Maybe this is what they're talking about. So these prices have already went into effect. If you already had an order prior to this, then you're price protected to the price when you ordered the vehicle. Hopefully your dealership does that if they know what they're doing. So let's talk about some of the price increases that happened. So prices went up by $250 for the Big Ben, the two-door Big Ben, with the advanced four-wheel drive system, the Black Diamond two-door, the Black Diamond two-door with the advanced four-wheel drive system. So all those went up $250. So there you go. So $750 price increase for two-door and four-door Wild Track and two-door and four-door Badlands. They both went up by $750. The Raptor went up yet again another $500. And the Heritage Edition, two-door Heritage Edition went up $500, and the two-door Heritage Limited Series went up to $250. Since they're price protected, why go up? Why raise the price if they're protected to it and you can't order it anymore? Why raise the price? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I guess this is for people that end up getting a stock order on one. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't make sense to me. All right. The automatic transmission went up $400. The Big Ben Sasquatch package went up $400. The Badlands Sasquatch package went up $400, and the Badlands Sasquatch package went up $400, which is kind of weird that all three of those went up. So it must have been a cost for a wheel or something since it's on those. And they have the same wheel on those because the Wild Track has a different wheel. But why not include the Outer Banks? I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That's the price increases. And in case you're wondering, the order banks are closing for 23 model year August 10th. So get your 23 order in before then, or wait for 4 days after that and put in a 24. So there you go. And CVP on those, deadline on those is the 14th, because that's the day the order bank opens up for the 24 model year. So there you go. So here's the situation. This is typical of a model that doesn't sell out early before the end of the model year, this is what normally would happen is they would close the order bank several days before opening up the next model year. So case like F-150 where they're not completely sold out, they can produce everything that's currently in the order bank, then they're not going to close the order bank until like a week or so before the next model year opens up. So that's what you're seeing is happening with the Bronco. So, and you might see happen with the Maverick. Anyway, we'll get into that in just a little bit. All right. Price increases for the Explorer as well. So these went into effect on July 31st. And again, anybody that has an order prior to that, they're locked into the price they are when they ordered their vehicle, according to Ford. So Ford will reimburse the dealer back the difference. Your dealer needs to know that and adhere to that. Here's the price increases that's happening. So price went up on the ST line, Timberline, and Limited Series by $350. The King Ranch and Platinum went up by $450. The XLT Tech package went up by $350. And the ST High package went up by $450. There you go. Now, last week I told you about the 24 Ranger FX4 off-road package needing the running boards added to the order. And now Ford has said that any unscheduled retail stock and fleet orders with FX4, but without the running board option, have been spec changed by FMC dealer on July 27th. So that is actually, we're going to talk about order guide updates, and that is an update to the order guide that is a requirement to get the FX4 package is that you get with the running board, either the Sport running board or the Chrome, based on the different package you have. So, because the Sport appearance package is actually standard on those trim levels that can get FX4 now, and so you would go with that one unless you add the Chrome package, then you get the Chrome package running board. So you got to make sure you do that. We talked about it last week, but now they updated to say they spec changed all the ones that are in their order bank. But as a dealer, you might just double check that. Here's something that I think was actually kind of funny that came out, and this is a bulletin that went out to trucks that are arriving at dealerships missing the tough bed spray and bed liner, which I say you should remove it, but some packages are there. It's included. It says there have been some instances. Yeah.
Instances.
Thank you. Where the factory ordered tough bed spray and bed liner are arriving at dealerships without the spray and liner applied. So it's basically telling them what to do. So they can't just add a spray and bed liner. So we couldn't just take ours over here and get a spray and bed liner put in. You actually have to put in a application with the FordBedLinerRepair.com and put in the large repair. Basically, it's a warranty claim is what it is. And you make sure you get that done. So it says, will the application by the local service provider include the Ford oval on the bulkhead? Because that's another thing that's big about that is you get that Ford logo on the back of it there. It says, yes, provided the dealership initiates the process using the FordBedLinerRepair.com. So make sure you got to do that. And they have certified people in each of the different areas to take those two to get that put on. So there you go. So another reason why you should not order the spray and bed liner. Anyway, all right. Last one before we get into order guide updates is the 2023 F-150 Lightning reservationist invitations for the Pro is available. So I forgot I was going to look that up. So I was going to look up because at one point in time, Ford told dealers the Pro is sold out for 23 model year. So let your reservation holders know they need to go ahead and order an XLT or go ahead and cancel their order because Pro will not be available the rest of the year. Not true. It's back. Pro is back, and only for those that have a reservation that you have not canceled yet. So quantities are limited. It says we actually had someone order one. So we had somebody that did not cancel. And also Ford actually, another thing that this reminds me of is that Ford actually said they were going to cancel everybody's reservation and give them their money back. I think that was at the end of May, right? But they didn't cancel them.
No, they did not.
And so if yours not canceled, you might go and look and see if you got an email from Ford. So if you had a reservation that you did not cancel in there for an F-150 Lightning, it's still there. You might have gotten an email from Ford telling you that you can order a Pro version right now. So, and those start at $50,000.
I will tell you, I had a customer call in today his preview or his reservation was with a different dealer, and he got the invitation for the Pro, and he would like to switch over to us. So
we can do that.
He already
has to call.
He already knew what to do. He's like, so I just called this number. I was like, yeah, just call the number. I was surprised that he actually knew exactly what to do.
Because his dealer, it's been a while since I talked Lightning.
Well, his dealer is doing 10K over.
Why? If they whatever, we can't even sell it at MSRP.
So he had lost all hope of getting a Pro, and then his friend got his in, and then he got the invitation for this one, and his friend's like, if you can, transfer your reservation before you order, because they're charging 10K over.
Well, anyway, all right, let's talk about some order guide updates. So we came back and noticed while we were gone, there were some updates to the order guide for the Mach-E. So they updated and changed the wording that says Blue Cruise 1.2 is now called Ford Blue Cruise 1.3 in the order guide. So that's been changed. Also, there was a couple options on the select trim that were available as options, and they have now been moved to the late availability on the select, and that is the 19-inch shadow silver painted aluminum wheel with the high gloss black painted aero covers and the black painted steel roof. Those two options you actually can't order right now. We tried it on Jeff's order, and you can't do that. So there you go. All right. So some other ones so at the beginning of every month, they'll like update or revise something if they notice something was wrong or needed to be updated. And on the Bronco Sport, the 23 Bronco Sport, F-150 and Explorer had some updates. There's some 24s as well. We'll get into those in a second. On the 23 Bronco Sport, they changed the wording to say second row seat back carpeted with rubberized seat mat. So technically, the seat back of the Bronco Sport isn't before it said rubberized seat back, and that's not actually accurate. It's a carpeted seat back with a mat that snaps into place on the back. So if you guys have a Bronco Sport, you know what I'm talking about. So they just updated that. It only took them a couple years, but they finally knew that. So they updated that anyway. The F-150 also deleted the option for the heated steering wheel removal because it's not needed now because heated steering wheel is back, as well as the auto start stop removal option. So those were been removed from the order guide, as well as, and the order guide is the information for dealers to help customers order a vehicle. Years ago, we didn't have a build and price on a website for you to go out and check and everything and then give that to a dealer. Instead, you went down and you sat down with a dealer with the order guide and you spec'd out your vehicle. And so you knew exactly what was going to be on your vehicle. That's usually, I did my videos since 2015, my complete guide videos, going off the order guides to help people go through that process. And so they knew what was on their vehicles. So, all right, the Explorer, they added the option, the credits for the 360-degree camera and the reverse brake assist. So those are now removed options, and they've included the credit, so that way you can get your credit on those. And they also deleted the security code delete. So now the keypad can be on it, the door. So that's the one that has the swipe one, not the keypad like the Maverick has. So there you go. For those that are going, wait a minute, they get theirs back, but we don't. It's different. It's integrated into the B-pillar. All right. On the 24 order guides, the Expedition was updated, the Mustang, Bronco Sport, Ranger, and Super Duty. And I will tell you right now, Super Duty, I could not figure out what was different. All the pages were new, and they put those in there. So I don't know. I went through line by line and could not figure out what was changed on them. But anyway. All right. But on the Expedition, they did revise the audio description to now include AM radio. They originally it was just FM radio. It is AM FM radio now. They also removed the dual headrest rear entertainment system we talked about a couple weeks ago not being available. And they also revised the third row USB ports. You're supposed to get one USB type A on each side. They actually said two on each side. It's supposed to be two total, one on each side. So they revised that. So little things like this, but hey, I want to keep you guys I'm interested in it. So, all right. On the Mustang order guide, they actually put in that it was an extra charged paint color for the yellow splash. We talked about that not too long ago. They also updated the description for the Sync 4 to include the information on demand panel, the cloud connected, the app link with app catalog, wireless Android Auto, and Apple CarPlay, the digital owner's manual. They included all those into that description. They also included wheel images. They added those to the order guide. And they also updated the Copilot 360 Assist Plus package wording. So there's a bunch of things that were just in different places. They kind of rearranged it a little bit and changed it up. I kind of have both of them here. So the adaptive speed control with stop and go is what it said. Now they moved some things where it said lane centering assist, intelligent speed assist, and productive speed assist. That was down below the fourth dot. They moved it up. So they just rearranged some things, but everything's the same in the way of what features are included in that package. They just rearranged the wording a little bit, so it made more sense to what some of the other models have. And then on the Bronco Sport, they updated the seat back again from the 24, so that they got that right, as well as they added, because this year they had removed the keypad on the Bronco Sport like they did with the Maverick. So now they have added to the order guide a dealer installed option for illuminated door entry keypad. Not just door entry keypad, but illuminated. So I'm wondering if it's going to be the same as it is on the Maverick. So we did notice the price of that on the Maverick was like really expensive. Was like, well, not really expensive, like $230, which was like $100 more than the one you can get on Ford accessory website. And I'm wondering if it's because it's illuminated. I don't know. Guess we'll find out at some point. Anyway, let's see here. Ranger order guide updated. Just a small thing. The Ranger Raptor we talked about, you couldn't get the spare tire lock as a dealer installed option, so they removed it from the order guide. So these are things that, hey, they're telling dealerships these no longer available, whatever. Now they're just updating the order guides to reflect that information. And then the other one is on the, I think on like an XL and XLT, there's a cargo management rail system that's not available with your tonneau box cover. Now also they added that it's not available with the pivot box cover as well. So, or the pivot box storage box, because it gets in the way of the rails. They also added the running boards to the FX4 package that we talked about earlier. So there you go. And that's all that order guide updates. I'm just gonna roll right into recalls because there's only one. So the one recall we have this week is actually one that came out prior to last week, and I didn't see it. And that is for the 2023 Super Duty and Escapes, the instrument panel cluster replacement. So this is an advance notice for compliance recall 23 C as in Charlie 25. So it's 2023 Super Duties built at Kentucky between January 19th of 23 through May 20 or 31st of 23, and 23 Escapes built at Louisville between November 15th of 2022 through June 16th of 2023. 38,628 vehicles were affected. And just because your vehicle is built between these dates doesn't mean your vehicle is affected. So just want to throw that out there, because we have about 8 or 10 Escapes on our lot that have come in, and only 3 of them have the recall. So just keep in mind, not all your vehicles will have it. So the reason for this recall, it says some of the affected vehicles may not conform to the requirements specified by the Ford or the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard. The instrument cluster screen, and this is the screen that when you're driving is through the steering wheel that you look at. So you know what I'm talking about? That's the instrument cluster right there. That's what the screen we're talking about. So the instrument cluster screen may be blank, which will result in customers not having access to driver information communicated to them through the IPC display, including vehicle speed, transmission. Speed is an important one. Go on getting speeding tickets. Transmission shift, position, warnings, and telltales. Failure to eliminate the instrument panel cluster renders safety-related telltales and gauges unreadable, increasing the risk of crash or a speeding ticket. All right. Anyway, so these are a stop deliver. So that means stop sale. That means that if one comes in with this on there, this recall in there, that has to be completed first. And this is just an advance notice, so we do not have the instructions of what needs to be done yet. They don't have that. So we'll have to wait till that comes in. There you go. All right. And then we'll get to this when we get to the later. So,
all right.
Any questions regarding dealer news updates I went over? Any of that stuff?
Well,
there's quite a few actually updates.
Did you go over mach-e invoice?
What about it?
Is invoice the same on mach-e as the MSR price?
MSRP, yeah, it's actually $10 difference.
Okay.
They actually charge the dealership an extra $10. So the actual invoice is $10 more than the MSRP, if you want to be honest.
That's different.
Yeah, they charge you for the connect. So they connect the modem up, and they charge a dealer for that so that they can track it. So they charge a dealership so Ford can track it and tell you where it's at.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, Ford.
Okay.
I think they can suck $10. They should be able to handle that.
This doesn't pertain to those, so I'll save it.
Okay.
Did Ford bring back heated windshield wiper deicers?
Nope.
Okay.
For what? For the Maverick? No.
Yeah.
For the Bronco Sport? No. They removed both of those on both models.
I placed my order for Lightning before the price was reduced in July. Should I cancel and reorder?
Nope. You will get the lower price. So if yours is still, if it's not built yet, or even if it's in production, then when it comes in, you will have the lower price.
All right. That was all of our questions.
Every vehicle will get re-invoiced on those.
Yeah, okay.
The lower prices. All right. Is it true? All right. We're going to have some fun here. All right. So.
Is it true?
For this week's Is It True? Oh, wait. Before we get, let's go to Is It True? Then I'll get into some Bronco information. All right. So is it true for this week? Is it true that Ford scheduled all Cyber Orange and Avalanche 2023 Mavericks for production? Yes, they did. I think almost all of them. All of ours. We noticed that we had 0 orders that had Avalanche as a color on the trimmer and Cyber Orange as well. So check this out. And we've been starting to receive them. I see a few orange trucks right there. Drive our lot once, and you're going to see about 10 Cyber Orange trucks on our lot right now. so you can actually see one over there in the corner. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that picture right there. And then another 3 more there. And I think there's some more that's like not even right in that picture. But yes. So Ford did know they were canceling this color and the Avalanche, and they tried to schedule those colors. For one, because Cyber Orange anyway there's not another color in the spectrum that's a Cyber Orange. Area 51 Ultra Blue, there is another blue option for those vehicles, so I think that's why they probably didn't worry about those. But Cyber Oranges, they did try to get all those. So, and they scheduled them not to keep producing through, like towards the end, that color will be gone. So it'll be. I'm surprised they don't have a balance out on it now, but that color is, they want to be done making any vehicles in that color and Avalanche as they get closer and closer to switch over. So anyway, that's what I found out. So anyway, and we kind of see that's kind of happening with the Super Duty. We see right now the Azure Gray and the Stone Gray are balanced out, but probably won't produce all those because we still have a blue and a gray or a stone color that are going to be replacing those. So you probably won't see that happening on orders. So if you have a Super Duty, you're like, well, I have an Azure Gray not scheduled, probably because there is another color close to that's available. So anyway, there you go. All right. And before we get into what's on my mind, I do have an update for people on the Bronco. If you have a Bronco Heritage Edition, especially if you had an early Heritage Edition, you were able as a Bronco customer that had a 22 order to be one of the first ones to get a Heritage Edition for 23 model year. You had a private offer there. That private offer was supposed to be good on the Heritage Edition as well. And so they know this exists, and they said, here's some instructions that I received from someone from Ford. It says, if you are missing the certificates from the following Bronco programs, that is 38644, that's your main private offer, or 32002, 32004, or 32006. Those had to do with the switching your orders over. If you're missing those, you will now have to reach out to the COVP program headquarters for those private offers. They will collect the order information from you and generate the certificate. So basically, they'll have to generate those certificates for you. If you're seeing them in there, you need to contact them so they can fix that it not showing up for the Heritage Edition. So your dealership will need to reach out to them. I actually on the Bronco 6G, I actually posted in the Heritage Edition forum. There's a thread going on. It's like 200 pages long. And I actually put the phone number and email address in there for that as well. So you can pass that on to your dealers. So if you're wanting that information, let me know. But if you just tell your dealers, from what I understand is this has been a problem with a bunch of other orders that you need to reach out to COVP program headquarters. And they should be able to get you that information. And if you need me to pass that information along to your dealer, or pass along to your dealer, I'm willing to do that. Some people actually, I posted that, and they actually called them themselves, and they actually got it fixed on some of them. So some of them, they were missing the certificate, so they called them. They got the certificate to show up by calling them and getting that order information. But then on the Bronco Heritage Editions, the certificate was showing up when they pulled it, but they couldn't get it to show up once they actually put the VIN number in, which is the other issue. In that case, you're going to have to contact them as well to get that fixed. So there you go. Update to that.
All right.
We're ready to move on to what's on my mind?
Yes.
Got a couple things on my mind. All right. So this week, I did want to talk about Ford's electric production. So, and we talk about electrifications, it's not just full EV. We're also talking about plug-in hybrid and hybrid. Hybrid has some electrification as well. They have a battery, they have an electric, they have a motor in it as well. It works in combination with the gas motor, and they work together. So that hybrids are electrified as well. And one thing that we're seeing, I actually had someone on Twitter that had posted to me and said, Ford is wasting their time. They need to go full EV like the others are doing and quit wasting their time with hybrids. I'm like, no, you don't understand. There's a lot of people in different levels of electrification of where they want to be, and some of them cannot go full electric. Try making a Super Duty full electric. It's not going to happen. So I said, well, not everybody is ready for full EV, and the way Ford's doing it, where they're having some gas models and they're having electric models, I think is a good combination of doing that. So let's talk a little bit about this. They did say that recently that hybrid is going to be a big plan into their electrification in the future. In fact, so big that they're going to come out with another F-150 hybrid, a new F-150 hybrid model, they said, or variant, which I can't wait to see that. So I don't know if it's going to be a smaller hybrid motor, because right now there's a 3.5 liter hybrid, which doesn't really help get you that much better gas, really. So maybe there's going to be a smaller motor with hybrid capability that gets you better fuel economy. We'll have to see. That's one of the ones that's supposed to be rebuilt in Detroit, along with the new 24 F-150. So we see that coming. Also, we do have, a lot of people, you want to look at a hybrid or a plug-in. If you want to know, I actually want to just kind of almost soapbox here and just kind of get passionate a little bit, but I really think Ford needs to do more plug-in hybrids. Plug-in hybrid, if I had an F-150 that was a plug-in hybrid versus a Lightning, I would have gotten that instead of a Lightning. For one, you still can get a tax credit for that, for one. For two, they're typically less expensive. The battery is smaller, but it gives you the availability to take that vehicle, and it can be not only your daily driver, but it can be the vehicle you take on the weekend across town, or to another city, to the bigger cities, whatever, to travel and get out of town with, because you're not relying on a charger 100%. Kansas, there aren't a lot of chargers on the highways in Kansas. You can get stuck somewhere. And so by going plug-in allows you to go in an all-electric mode during the week, be able to drive 20, 30, 40 miles during the week, in some vehicles in all-electric mode. And then on the weekend, you can flip that over to hybrid, and then you can drive, out of town and then just fill up and get gas when you need to. So anyway, and by the way, if you do have a plug-in hybrid, don't take up a charger. I mean, it drives me nuts when I'm at the airport and I see the Jeep plug-in hybrid.
The Jeep
that's taking that little
Wrangler E.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. When it's taking up a spot, and I'm like, are you kidding me? There are vehicles that rely only on the electrification,
and there's not a charger.
And you're in their spot. You have gas in your vehicle. Just drive it like a hybrid.
Question: how far was the closest charger from there? Do you remember?
Oh, they're not that far. So they can, yeah. I mean, they have gas.
But I remember that first time we took the Lightning out there, we took it and we couldn't get into a spot. And we were down far enough that when we got back, we had to plug it in. And they're trickle chargers. So it took forever for us to get to a point where we could make it to the next charger.
Yeah.
So if you're taking up a charger and you don't need it and you have gas in your vehicle.
Now, if you're at a place, a charging station that has a bunch of them and you're there, you can charge, because if somebody comes up and goes, okay, well, let me get off. I mean, that's different, but those should not take that long anyway. But I digress. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about the different hybrid vehicles that Ford currently makes right now. So the Maverick is probably the biggest one. Did you guys know that Maverick makes up about 60% of the hybrid production of all the Ford hybrid vehicles? So that's a pretty good chunk. Escape, also, you can get a hybrid in Escape. You get a hybrid in Explorer, as well as your F-150 right now. They did say that they're going to be bringing another F-150 hybrid out in the Detroit Auto Show in September, so we might be there. Who knows? Now, let's talk about some plug-in hybrid vehicles. This is where Ford, I think, could go and need some work here. There's only one plug-in that I can think of. If there's another one I'm forgetting about, Escape, and I'm just talking Ford here. Escape, I think, is the only plug-in hybrid vehicle available. We did have a C-Max at one time, and we did have a Fusion at one time, but right now I think it's only the Escape.
Focus? We had a Focus.
There's an all-electric Focus, but not a plug-in. There's an all-electric one. We saw that. Remember when we went to our trip?
That was all electric? I thought it was a plug-in.
That was all full electric. Anyway, and Ford won't talk about that one. They don't want to. They want to say they extra made that one, but yes. But they need more. So we need more, in my opinion, of those. So hopefully Ford can get some of those, because I think that would be awesome if they could have an F-150 that was a plug-in hybrid. That'd be awesome. Anyway, and let's talk about the full EV models currently. Right now, Ford has the Lightning and they have the Mach-E. Both of those, the Lightning is ramping up production. I do have some notes here that they sent out recently. That they talked about. Their plant was down for about 6 weeks? I think it was down because they were building onto it to make it bigger and to help production and to help quality as well going out with some different toolings. They're adding 1,200 additional manufacturing employees that in the next several weeks. They're going to basically shadow with somebody that's experienced for a little while, so they get up and they get more knowledgeable with that. They're going to be adding a third shift. So Ford is going to be, their goal is to be building 150,000 F-150 Lightnings in a calendar year. Which is crazy. So that's a lot of production there. So they're ramping that up. They also said that they're going to be able to focus on building high demand trim levels like the XLT. And so that's why you're seeing next month they're going to be scheduling a lot of XLTs, because now they can build them with this with the new facility upgrades and everything. So they are going to do some great things. They also in the future have a couple other electric vehicles that they're supposed to be debuting and revealing that will be for the 25 model year. I think we've already kind of gotten a little teaser about the T3. It's another electrified truck. So I'm looking forward. I'm curious on the size on it. I don't know. I'm hoping it's a little bit smaller than the F-150, but we'll see. And then also we think there's probably going to be another SUV coming. So hopefully, I'd really love to see Ford make a $30,000 SUV. I know the Mach-E, starts at 42 or something. I'd love to see a $30,000 one out of them, because right now the what is that one that we saw, the Volkswagen, that was real appealing. The ID4,
yeah,
that was a real appealing, especially with the free charging for 3 years. Anyway, there's some good EVs that are in that 30,000 range. I'd love to see them do that. So, all right, so that's all I had really about electrification. Real excited to see what Ford's going to be doing, and don't forget too, with them making that deal with Tesla, you're going to be able to use Tesla chargers in the start of 2024 calendar year. So anyway, all right. I do have some Maverick information if you don't have any questions on electrification, EVs, and all that.
People are wondering why Ford doesn't make more plug-in hybrid Escapes, but we don't see a market for it as much.
I think we would. I mean, right now they can't make it enough. I mean, like we're not a heavy Escape dealer. We do get about one plug-in hybrid allocation a month, which isn't a lot. But some areas are probably getting a bunch, So
yeah. All right. Other than that, nope.
But Escapes are outselling the Mach-E right now. Just saying, all of the Escapes. Anyway. All right. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about some Maverick. So as we're talking about this, let's talk about hybrid vehicles, including the Maverick, right? So there are a couple things that I wanted to kind of touch on this week that I was enlightened about from last week, right? All right. So one of them is the order banks. Are they still open? There's, of course, we talked last week that they were still open last week. They're still open this week. You can order hybrid. You can order those at your dealers. So if your dealer says, we can't take any more hybrid, order banks are closed, that is not true. In fact, we had someone at Ford that said, can you please communicate? Because they know that we get out in the Maverick community. They said, please let your people know. Hybrids can be ordered. Hybrid production as an all-time high right now for the Maverick. It's at 50% of the Mavericks being built right now can be a hybrid. So we know that for the end of the 23 model year, but also today it looked like at the startup for 24 is going to be a 50-50 mix hybrid and EcoBoost. According to what I got from my wholesale. If I'm wrong, I'm not wrong. Ford's wrong. That's what they told me. Anyway, so that's a major thing. So you can now also that is also a reason why we talked about last week of how I don't think dealers should be going off of that breakdown. So dealers got an estimate of how many allocations they're supposed to get for the year. Take your orders based on the allocations, but just let the customers order what they want. If they want to order hybrid, order hybrid. If they want an EcoBoost, let them order an EcoBoost. Let them order what they want, and don't worry about your breakdown besides that and say, well, 35% of your number, which is if I have 100 allocations, I can only take 35 hybrids. Well, you know what? Now you can take 50, right? We already know that. We know the number is 50. So go ahead and take that. I mean, I have a couple different people within Ford headquarters is saying, yes, take those orders. One of the reasons they probably have not closed the order bank is because dealerships are adhering to those estimates, which is a good thing when you're talking about overall allocation number. But when they're doing the breakdown, you can't be concerned about that. Just do what you want to do. We used an example last week. I'll keep using this example till I get it through people's heads that we did that on the Bronco. They told us our number was 3 Bronco 2-doors, and we've already scheduled 8. We only have 2 left now. So that need to be scheduled. I would not be surprised if they get scheduled this next week. So, just do it that way. Also, all the options right now on the Maverick are within their capacity. So the capacity numbers we talked about last week, they do not have more orders for each of those options than they can handle and they can produce. So they also told us, I actually had a concern about the bed liners since all of the Lariats are going to be built with a spray-in liner and all of the XLTs with a drop-in liner. Last year's capacity was very low on the drop-in liners. And I said, how are they going to be able to make 50% of the vehicles as a XLT and almost everybody adding that luxury package? How are you going to be able to have the production for bed liners? And they said they actually have that all worked out. They've actually hired more people at the factory. They have facilities going at full speed so they can handle all the bed liner production. So they said, feel free to put in your bed liners on your orders and they can make them. I still would adhere that if you're looking at the optional spray-in liner or drop-in liner, I'd wait and still have your dealership do it. That's just me. Yes, will they schedule? Probably at some point. But if you want to get it done faster, leave it off. That's still my take on that. So they're saying production's fine. And yeah, but if you're a customer, you want yours, you don't care about this, the other 100 people that are ordering with you at your dealership. You want to move up. You don't want to be the 100th person because you added the optional spray and liner. So that's the way I look at that. And we've actually seen that to happen. Also, they said a little bit of information on the black appearance package and the trimmer. Those are within capacity easily, and they will build trimmers. So if there's not orders for trimmers, they'll build stock trimmers. So they said that putting in a trimmer order is probably going to be easier for you to get. Good guarantee you're going to get yours fairly fast because they will produce every so often. They're going to a trimmer is going to go down that line. So they need those orders so we can schedule those. So here, and speaking of that, here's kind of an image of a few of those that have showed up here. in the last week. So Avalanche trimmer, both of those. Here's 2 more outside of a Super Duty, which came on the same truckload. Avalanche and Avalanche trimmer right there. The 2 on the outside of that trimmer. Also got a hot pepper red one there. And then there's another one, an Avalanche. We had 5 Avalanches that were sitting back there. And then we also have a black appearance package in black sitting there too as well. So
did any of those have the trimmer appearance?
No. We didn't. We only had a couple of those orders last year. They all got scheduled already.
I know. I've only seen Lee's.
Well, and I think they all got scheduled. And what's the only thing is that hopefully everybody's did because they wanted that black roof and stuff or gray roof and stuff because it's not available in 24. But
yeah,
they try to do that just kind of like they did with the first edition. So just some notes that we had. Also, something else to take note of: private offer information. We'll have that next week probably. Hopefully by the time of this live stream on next week. We should have information on private offer and numbers. I've been told that everybody will be happy with their numbers. In fact, in almost every situation, you'll probably be getting the Maverick cheaper than you would in 23. Yeah. By a little bit. So they wanted to make sure everybody was well taken care of. I think they said there's one situation and one configuration that is not getting what they had. And that's probably... Yeah. If you had a stock, I would assume, and again, it's just an assumption. I may be totally 100% wrong, but probably if you have a Lariat, base Lariat last year, this year you have to get Lariat with all those packages. You're not going to be able to because you have to add all those packages this year. So that would probably be the situation where you're going to get a private offer based on a base Lariat. Pricing increase. So if you didn't have the Lux and all those last year, you will probably see in this situation because now you have to add those 3 packages that you will. That's probably the one situation I would think. But everybody else, they said would be in pretty good situation there.
How many Mavericks did we get in last week? Was it 27?
We were supposed to get about 34, 37. But I don't know if they all showed up.
Yeah, I think last time we had checked before we went on a trip, it was like 27.
Yeah, we had. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mavericks here.
Yeah, I was actually counting. Yeah, I think last Tuesday night before I left, I went by and was counting. We were close to 30 on our lot.
Well, I did a short, and we had like 5 or 6 of them sitting out front waiting to be shipped out.
Oh, another note on the private offer. Just looking at my notes here. Your private offer is based on your 23 order that is in the order bank. So your dealership needs to leave that order in there. So if they will look and see, yes, you have a 24 COVP order, but they're also going to look at the 23 model year order in the order bank. So your dealership needs to leave those orders in there, completely in there. Let Ford remove them, or you may not get that private offer. So anyway, and there's no guarantee of that. So, yes, so make sure that happens. Depending on how many of those, maybe if somebody got canceled one, depending on how many of those, they may not be able to recover those because they're looking at the order for the 23 order in the order bank with that dealer. So in the matchup of 24 order that's COVP'd. So, and the COVP needs to be done. Same name, same order number as well to get that private offer in prioritization. So, yep. I think I got all of my notes here. All right. I think that's all I have. If you have any now, anybody's got questions I didn't answer.
All right. So someone said that we should take a picture of all the maps together. I'm like, that would take a
Saturday.
lot.
People that come Saturday will get theirs.
Yes.
Which a lot of them will be. I mean, what do we talk? How many members are picking up theirs? 14? 17?
No, 17 members altogether.
Well, we're going to have.
So picking up, we have 9.
So, but we know we'll have those 17 there.
Not everyone has a Maverick.
Almost everybody that's coming.
Alan, I think, has one. I think the only person I can't think if they have theirs is Terry Monroe and Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones?
Maybe not. I don't know.
At least 16.
Anyway.
But I was saying that would take a lot of time because keys are dispersed between the different salesmen.
Yeah, we can't line them up. If you're a member, though, we walk by all of them.
Yeah,
if you're a member
takes a
on
lot
Saturday,
of time to do that.
Check out our member only lot walk on Saturday, where not only do I walk the new lot, the sold lot, what's going on delivery, what's fresh in inventory. I go over that, but I also do a walk and talk with me. I got 4 of them where you guys get to see what Tim's thinking.
Do you think we'd be able to convince someone that when we have those 75 coming in 1 month or 79 the next month, that we should start lining them up in one place out back, and then we could just have them all in one place?
Well, when I got a new lot, once we get our new lot all clean and everything, we can put Maverick parking.
That's still not enough room. I'm thinking the field.
No, don't park them in the field. No, we got a new parking lot.
I know that's not enough for 75.
I think it will. You'd be surprised.
They all won't come in at the exact same time either.
Yeah. All right. Questions.
All right. We'll start with this one. Is Ford building all the 23 Maverick reorders first before any new orders, regardless of allocations?
Not regardless of allocation. They're still going to fulfill those within a dealership's allocations. So that allocations are king. So that has to happen. So, but within the dealership, yes, correct. And I actually got an email back from somebody for you to talk to you. So I'll be emailing you at some point here soon, probably tomorrow. So I think they're going to, because you actually have a 22 order. They got, because your other dealership didn't get yours scheduled, they got flipped to 23, and then we put you in and tried to prioritize your order, and it didn't get scheduled with us. So, So there are a few people in this situation where they have a 22 and they're going to 24, like she is. But yeah, I'll be emailing you soon. So
yeah,
she's one of our members, and
she is.
So we're gonna I emailed somebody out about your case, so we'll see what we can get accomplished.
All right. Can any dealer give me Ford maintenance records for a used F-150 I just bought?
Your dealer should be able to pull. Well, they can only pull what is done at that dealership on that particular vehicle. Yeah. So I don't know. It would be difficult you'd have to find out where all it's been serviced, and then because usually those service records stay within the dealership where it was serviced. So you'd have to find that out probably, but maybe Oasis can pull some things. So, but I'd start with your dealer.
Mm-hmm. All right. Super Duty. I'm a rollover to 24 F450 King Ranch. I'm trying to avoid constraints. If I change to a Platinum or Lariat Ultimate, do I lose my original order number and date at the dealership?
No, you don't. You don't. Yeah, your order number stays to your order. Switching the configuration doesn't change that.
Unless your dealer switches
we're not done scheduling 23s yet. So hopefully they didn't cancel your 23 order, because even though you have a 24 order in, you still have a chance to get scheduled. I mean, we're getting like 50 people getting, or like 40. I think we have like 53 allocations to use this week. And we have like a bunch of those that are previewing this week. So there's going to be a huge, big number of people that are going to get scheduled this week. So maybe you're one of those. So just, have faith. Maybe your 23 gets scheduled. So.
All right. Any word yet on the private offer for 22 to 20?
Just talked about that. Should find out next week.
Yes.
They're waiting for a scheduling. They got to finish out scheduling for 23, and then they'll know how many they're going to have, but they have the numbers figured out. And so, but they're just waiting for everybody to get scheduled before letting the other people know. So that way they don't need to they hate to send out an email. By the way, you're going to get a private offer, and you're like, wait a minute, I got scheduled, and get all that confusion. So they're going to get everybody scheduled, those emails sent out, so then they know who is unscheduled and just send those out to those people. So that's why they're going to wait until next week.
Yeah. Vols, we are way ahead of you. Niles will be there with his drone.
Vols does have a.
Yep. All right. Constraint/build percentage protection for 24 Super Duty with an HO diesel.
Oh, they haven't told us any of that information. Well, did they? Let me look at my notes. Go to the next question. I'll see. So you're wanting constraint build percentages projection for 23 with the high output. Go ahead and ask another question. Let me see if I can find. We got our estimate. Oh, look at that. I'll beat you to it. Okay. It just says both diesel engines. It doesn't break it out between the two, but the diesel engine's percentage is 65%. So 65% of the production will be a diesel engine, one of the two. That's pretty crazy. So cabin chassis 15%, spray and bed liners 34%, fifth wheel prep package 35%. Yeah, that's the big ones. Limited is 2%. Black appearance package is 5%. King Ranch 5%. Tremor is 6%. Platinum is 6%. F450 is 3%. So hopefully, yeah. And there's a reason to keep all these papers I get from Ford.
Robert, I have your question in the queue.
Okay.
We're going to in order.
Yep.
What is the Super Duty option called? Pickup box besides storage? Is this a built into the bed option or an on? And if so, where does this go on the Super Duty bed?
Okay, so that I believe is that thing where you can rotate it out.
Yes, the arm.
Bedside storage. It's the pivot one. I think it's the pivot one, if I'm thinking right. So, yep. That's what I think. Either that or there's a toolbox.
But what's it called?
Huh?
What's it called? And is this built into the bed or a standalone option?
No, this isn't Dodge. Sorry. Had to go there.
If you want some, Lebo got some off of a used one to put them in our truck, but they don't fit in our truck. So depending what model your year or whatever you have, we might have some.
There's a couple different ones. So it's a pivot one that is a little box, and then you can pivot it out, and it's just a little box. And then there's also toolboxes. So I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
All right. For once, no questions about Super Duty. Yes, this is a good one. Purdue guy in LB finally got a VIN window sticker, and he's now in production.
Awesome. That's good.
When are they scheduling 2024 F-150s? We don't know yet.
Well, they got to have order banks open up first. Yeah. So, yep.
Yeah, the one's like a gate, he says.
Yeah, that's the pivot box.
Yeah. So.
That's I think it's called a pivot
storage or storage box.
Storage box or something like that.
You could go look them up on Ford.com. I'm pretty sure they have them.
Yeah.
Sorry, I joined the stream late. Is there anything in the works to have the tax rebate at the point of sale for Ford EVs, and when we can order Lightning Pros for 24?
Okay, so 24 order banks aren't open up yet for Lightning, but if you have a current reservation, then you might have gotten an email to order a Pro. And then the point of sale, Ford did say they wanted to. I think that's probably going to be for 24 model year. I think, because I know that's supposed to be something that's coming for next year. So calendar year of 24, I think, where that's going to be able to be rolled into that. Now, you got to be leery on that because, that tax credit, you get that if you owe the government $7,500.
Because we were like, oh, we get $7,500 back. No. That's if you owe, and you only get as much as you owe.
Yes, so you don't. If you don't owe anything, you won't get that $750.
So for me, right now we don't.
For me, it was nice, but
yes, but you run a business.
Yeah.
All right, my local dealer told me the full-size Bronco order banks are going to open on the 15th of this month. Is that true?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. It's 14th.
Okay. The 14th.
Probably at 4:00 on 14th. So yeah, we'll make it the 15th.
I originally had a 22 order. Finally got scheduled for my 23 order in September. So I'm guessing you have a September build date. However, the dealer changed the 22 order number to a new number for 23. Will I get a special offer?
So this year is when on the Maverick is when it was dependent on the order number. But prior to this, it was not.
So you should be good.
Yeah, you should be good.
If they can't find it, who do they need to talk to?
COVP program headquarters.
There you go. All right, that's all of our questions.
Or the sales and inventory manager.
Man, last week we went long. This week we're shorter.
All right, so someone said, did freight go up to $1,595? Not sure what model you're talking about. I think he just forgot the decimal in there. Not sure what model you're talking about, but there are several of them. I think the Maverick went up to $1,595. So.
All right.
It was $1,495. That was part of there was a $500 price increase in February in the
Yes.
Maverick, and $100 of that was the freight increase
Mm-hmm.
and the other. But you should be price protected to that, including the destination charge. So if your dealership is looking out for you, they're going to get reimbursed that from Ford. And so, yeah, so you would have to.
If I missed your question, please drop it back in. Sometimes if I don't see at Sarah Davis, I'll miss it as a question. I try and read all the question marks and try and grab them, but sometimes y'all are throwing them in there too fast for me to catch them.
Yep. Just pop that in there. We'll sit around and we'll talk a little bit, but yeah, put that question in there. So,
did we say what time we're doing the meetup? Or
for Friday?
Saturday.
It's 11 to 1.
11 to 1, and then
at Oakdale Park.
At Oakdale, and then 1 to 4 at the garage.
Yes, 1 to 4 at the garage.
So we will have T-shirts for sale.
Mm-hmm.
All those with Mavericks, or I think she'll just hand them out. We'll get
stickers.
A commemorative Maverick meetup sticker.
Yep.
Looks like last year, but different picture, different colors. I actually think I like this year's better. I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. Do you sell cars to people out of state? Yes, we do. How much would you say our sales are out of state now?
30% still. Probably pretty close. Maybe more now.
Probably more. That's why I asked. I have an opportunity to take delivery of a Maverick Hybrid from Molinex Ford. They're a good dealer. I was thinking of putting it on Turo. Well, Gino, if that's what you want to do, go right. If you have the funds and you're able to do that, go right ahead. Especially because I believe you're in Florida. Go right ahead.
Is Ford replacing Bronco hardtops that have serious quality issues? Yeah, probably. They probably have to put in a warranty claim by the dealer. So, if they're
can you please send your question again?
Yeah. Yeah, William puts yours in there too.
Yep.
I haven't seen it put back in there yet, but
no. Does McArthur accept the $500 Farm Bureau discount?
Yes. That's actually your rebate, so it's not like it's any costing us money or anything.
Yeah. They have any new Mustangs on the lot? I hear California has them.
California has 23, but they don't have 24s yet.
No.
I can guarantee that because we actually talked about that on the live last night. Someone that's actually in Michigan at a dealer up there that has friends at the Michigan plant knows that they have not been shipped out yet. So 24s should not be on dealer lots in California yet. So you might see like maybe being showed there or something, like in a dealership on a showroom just to kind of show you what they look like or something, but not for sale. All right.
McCann says, I have a private offer on the 23 Maverick Lariat with a certificate number. When I asked about it, they said it was expired. He is purchasing with us. I'm wondering if you have an ICI offer. Did you roll over from 22 to 23?
There's different private offers that Ford gives, and the transition private offer, it won't expire, but you probably have an offer that Ford, they call it an ICI offer. Like if it's like 750 or whatever, for one, that's not good on a Maverick.
No. He says no, he did not have a rollover.
Okay.
So that would be an ICI. Those are offered
they
annually. They expire.
They're quarterly.
Quarterly,
and they expire every quarter.
Yeah, and they expire every quarter, and they may not be reissued to the same people each quarter.
Yep.
So,
we can't backdate anything. So,
but we've seen in the past that those usually don't work on Maverick.
And I don't think they may work with Maverick, but I think if you look in the disclaimer, it doesn't on those. But even beside that, they should have. I think, like I said, they're every quarter. So there's some that ended in July. And so new ones just went out for this quarter, just in the last week, I think. So, yeah.
All right. Are y'all signed up for EV dealer as well?
Model E, yes.
Model
We're
E.
we're an EV dealer now, and we will be a Model E dealer in 24 model year.
Yeah.
24 calendar year, I should say.
Yeah. Model years. It depends on which model are you going with, because we're already in 24.
One of the reasons they're producing mach-e and lightnings and so late into the year is because for 24 model year, only Model E dealers are going to have that. So you have to be on a new contract to be able to sell an EV at that point for Ford. So
all right. Maverick.
24 MAV COP approvals coming in yet. They usually get approved pretty quick. As mentioned, some dealers canceled 23 MAV orders. When 24 MAV orders were inputted, would reservation holders receive email from Ford if their 23 order got canceled? So their email that is going to be dedicated to that order. So yes, we'll let you know when those emails should go out for those private offers. And if you don't receive one, it may be because your 23 order got canceled. So you might have to contact your dealer and have them reach out and with that. So that's going to be a problem. And I kind of put that on Ford. So a little bit of soapbox here, because Ford told dealers for the last year they are not giving out private offers for anybody that does not get scheduled and has to be put in a 24 model year order. They said that. So there's some dealers that when the customers heard that there wasn't any private offer and they were coming down to the end, they're like, and we, contact, say, you want to put a 24 model year order? And they said, no, I'm done waiting and everything else. And then they cancel. And then they, a week later, say, hey, you know what? We're doing private offers after all for these customers, but it's based on that 23 order. Well, at that point, we just canceled that order. So that's not really fair, because you told us you weren't giving us a private offer. So when these customers are like, nope, I'm done, go ahead and cancel my order. So we did. And then they heard the private offer was coming out and they're like, you know what? On the other hand, since I'm getting the private offer, I want to keep it. Well, now they're not going to get the private offer because there's no 23 model year order in there anymore. Yep. So hopefully Ford makes exceptions. Yes. So we'll have to see. Just depends on how many exceptions they have to make, is what I've been told. But I think you got to put it on them. It's their fault, because if they had said earlier in the game that they were going to do private offers, noticing that they're not going to get everybody scheduled. I mean, they have 22,000 orders still left in the order bank. They knew a month ago, 2 months ago, that they weren't going to get them all scheduled. They could have warned people at that point, because that would have left people hanging on. Because if they knew, well, you know what? Order banks opened up, I'm done, and that's what some of them did. And so then the orders got canceled. And then they said, oh, wait, no, we're going to do a private offer. And like, you waited too long. I mean, order banks opened up, July 17th? Mm-hmm. So 2 weeks before that, you said, yeah, we're doing private offers. I'm like, that's not far enough in advance. But anyway, that's just, again, soapbox. But
all right.
Why is a Heritage Bronco on stop build? Ford doesn't tell us. They do not tell us why.
All right. Let's see. What is Toro? Toro is like a rental company, but not. So it's people that have an extra vehicle laying around. They can put it into the Toro app. At that point, people can request to borrow it for a certain amount of time. Usually people flying in. So then it would get dropped off at the airport, and you would pick it up from there, drive it, bring it back, drop it off, and then they would pick it up back up.
Most of the money goes to the person that owns the vehicle. I know there's some people that are making their car payment or more from that. So we did one.
Yeah, I have my Maverick order with McArthur. I plan on flying into Salina to pick up and drive it home whenever it gets built / delivered. Is it possible to have someone pick me up from the airport?
Yep.
Yes.
We plan that with your salesperson.
Yeah.
So, yep. That's what we're doing. We're going to be picking up a bunch of people this week.
We have someone picking up tomorrow. We have someone picking up Thursday. And then I am driving down Friday because it's a special case of 4 different people.
Yep.
So I have a 2-door Bronco. Why can't I read you? 2-door Bronco Heritage order with you that has not been scheduled. Given the news shared tonight, would you recommend I submit a 24 order on the 14th?
Yeah, we'll do that. I mean, we're going to probably, I hope, most of our allocations schedule next week for Bronco. So we know what we're at, but probably more than likely, all of our Heritage Editions, we're going to have to put in 24 model year orders. So yeah, reach out to your salesperson. We're probably going to need to reorder yours. So.
Okay, so ML Culpepper, I had a 750 offer sent to me on my Ford Pass that was for ordering a Maverick. Offer disappeared, but we did place an order. Appreciate if Vincent was checked by you.
We do that on every deal.
Yes.
That's part of our process.
Yeah.
We check it on every deal.
So
and that's not our money, that's your money. So that doesn't hurt us by giving it to you. Yeah. And so we give every penny that we can. We always will check, because sometimes there'll be like several offers, and it's like you have to pick one of these three or whatever, and you click on which one you want to pick. So we always look for all offers, and so I will guarantee that our management did check for any orders. So more than likely that offer wasn't available on the Maverick. So
all right. 1 second. I'm selecting all the questions you guys sent in. What's your experience with Ford Pro and Vin Simple?
Vin Simple.
Maybe Vin Simple. He's asking because he has a fleet of 60 and he needs some insight.
Oh, so more than likely. Okay. So, yeah, you got to go through Ford Pro now. That's the new fleet name for this to order your vehicles. And that's probably like, hey, I need 60 like this. And so you just tell them one configuration and they just kind of copy that on all the ones. So that's probably what that is. But yeah.
So Vols, Ford Chat and Ford Service, they can verify your private offers, but they won't tell you if they qualify on the Maverick. We've had some people that are upset because Ford Service told them specifically, yes, you can use this on the Maverick, you can use this on your purchase.
And it wasn't compatible.
But when we look at it and we look at the fine print, it's not compatible with Maverick. So you can ask them to look up private offers, but just know that they may not be compatible with your purchase. I think on one of them, it was like something that was
an APR.
And it was just, was weird.
And when you actually look up the details on the offer, it showed you what models got what APRs. And if you looked, Maverick was not on any of the lists of any of the vehicles, or Super Duty or Bronco. So, but Ford told them that, yeah, you have 6 offers in here, well, all offers had to do with different configurations of your finance deal and for this one customer, and none of the offers were good on a Maverick though. So yeah, they're not always looking specific at your model. They're just seeing that, hey, I looked your name up and you have a private offer, but you have to look and see if that offer is compatible with your VIN number. That's the key. So
a lot of people asking about the Maverick. Didn't know they were selling solar. Maybe it got updated recently. So we're talking about the Maverick truck.
Yeah.
Instead of the Maverick car. So making sure that clarification is in there, because some people, I do talk to them and they're like, the car? No, it's the truck. Ford Maverick is now a truck. Okay. Just making sure, because some people don't know that they're making a truck. Nope, the Maverick has been a hit since it came out. Should I drop floor mats on my 24 Mav order Lariat with a moonroof?
No, I'd be more concerned about that moonroof than your floor mats. Floor mats shouldn't cause anything. I wouldn't worry about that. I'm assuming you're talking about the floor liners, but
yeah. Awesome. Thank you. I will get in touch with my salesperson whenever it gets built and let him know. I don't know why I said something
about F-150, didn't they?
I think I have it here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you think my chances are, Tim, now that I ordered a 24 XLT FX4 and got a priority 3?
Again, XLT is available on a lot of different models. I assume you're talking about, I don't know if you're talking about Maverick or Super Duty. I'd say if you're on a Maverick, good, because your XLT and your EcoBoost, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yep. If you're Priority 3, if you had a carryover order, then you're probably going to get a Priority 2 by Ford. So the 3 doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'd say pretty good. If it's Super Duty, depends on your motor, but yeah, probably pretty good there too.
Yeah. All right. I have my Maverick order with McArthur. I plan on flying. Oh, wait. We already went that one. Did you get to see the Land Cruiser reveal about an hour ago? Think it will be a good competition for the Bronco?
I did not.
We'll have to look into that.
Jordan over at Bronco Nation probably did. He kept talking about Land Cruiser last night.
That Super Duty option is number 19H. I can find a picture of it. It is like the Maverick inside side bed box. Sorry to ask it. I'm just trying to find out. Are you trying to find out if you can order it with the vehicle or if you need to order it aftermarket? I think that's what you're asking. Just want to clarify.
We're talking about Super Duty on that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Super Duty option. Let me look. We just got a new order guide today, so oh my word. Options down here. What was that again? 19H. I'll look it up. You ask another question, unless you're done.
I don't have any more questions. Deborah, I think you're still here. Tyler, if he isn't answering your emails, don't worry. I will let him know that he needs to work on that. But I think I talked to Niles and he said that he will get it taken care of. And that should be if you're wanting information on if your aftermarkets are done, Niles is the go-to. Send him an email. He says take it easy on him, but he really is our aftermarket expert and he helps, plan all of the spray and bed liners.
Okay. So I looked it up. That is exactly what it's called. It's the pickup box bedside storage. It's not saying it's new for this year, but it is saying it's a Ford Accessories thing. So maybe look up that same wording on their Ford Accessories website, and maybe that will get us an idea what it looks like.
Oh.
Mal's in here. Does he know what it is?
Wants to know what it looks like and where it goes.
Well, let's see if we can find it.
Okay, while we're doing that, I have a two-door Heritage Bronco scheduled in October. Will I get built? If it is scheduled and you have a VIN, you're good to go. You're good to go if you have a VIN and you're scheduled. All right. Pretty sure that's it.
Well, I don't think it is.
Is it that one?
Because it's not that one's called pivot box.
Yeah.
But that doesn't say pivot. It says pickup box.
Pickup. Is that the one that sits right up against the window?
No, that's called a toolbox.
Oh.
I don't know.
So there's not a pickup box,
but there's 1700
pivot box.
There's 1700.
Did you put in Super Duty as
That's what I
your
was looking for,
special?
but I don't see where I can.
Um,
Anyway, I don't know.
I don't know. It's $16.95.
$16.95.
Yeah, that's how much it is.
Put on 23 because it's the same as 22 and 23.
All right, so you have it in your garage now. You can go look.
Narrowed it down to 234. I don't know. The ones that keeps coming up is the pivot one. Bed cabs. That's not it.
Well, and $16.95 could be the from factory price and not the aftermarket price. Right?
Typically, they're the same.
Oh, never mind. Don't think about me.
I don't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd be amazed what they can do with those EcoBoosts.
Yeah, I don't see it on the Ford Accessories
Okay,
website.
we're not seeing
Not sure
it,
what that
and
looks
I
like.
wouldn't. Yeah.
Yep, not sure what it looks like. I don't know. It does say it's not available with your bed pickup box bed covers, which means that it gets in the way of the brackets. It does say it requires the STX appearance package or the XL Chrome appearance package on the XL, and not available with the pickup box delete. Of course, that makes sense. So it makes me think it might be. It doesn't say it's a toolbox, but I would almost believe it's a toolbox. Pickup box bedside storage, not over the cap. So I don't know. I'm not sure. That's a new one.
Yeah.
All right. Can't help you out
Who's
on that one.
Styron? Jean, are you messing up on your keyboard again? It's Sarah, not Styron.
All right. Anything else?
So should I get my COVP before I start hounding them about priority codes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Because here's the deal. If you had a 23 order and you're getting carried over into 24, once you get that 24 COVP and Ford recognizes that, then they're going to give it a priority 2 and the dealer will have no control over that.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
So as long as you have a 23 order, the same order number name, and then you have a 24 COVP order with the same order name, Ford's going to give you a priority 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter. The dealership will have no control over that because I actually wanted to control ours because we have people that I wanted to put in line in a certain way, and stack them with certain priorities now that they have an 03 all the way. And they said, nope, we're going to give all the orders a priority 2. I said, well, what about how are they going to be able to say which one goes first? We have 400 priority 2s, which is what we'll have, or actually now 350 or something.
I had to explain this to someone today.
We won't be able to. He said it won't matter. They'll all be looked at the same way. That basically timestamp goes out the window is what I've been told. So configuration will be like 100%. If you have a dealership that has only priority 2s, like we will, it's going to be 100% based on configuration and luck.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like that. But
Kavion, if you hadn't canceled your Bronco order, you may still have been waiting for it till this year. We had someone that reserved, and he didn't get his till this past 2023.
Yeah, they're not that bad now, though. I mean, to be honest,
yeah, but they're more expensive and worth more now.
I mean, if you looked at the ones that we had scheduled last month, it was like we had a bunch of Badlands Lux packages as well, Sasquatch packages too. They didn't get held up. I mean, we had half of them were 2 doors and the other half were 4-door hardtops. We actually had all hardtops last month get scheduled. So really, Sasquatch and all that isn't the problem. It's the 4-door hardtop at this point that would probably hold yours up more than anything. But yeah. All right.
Michael Orth, I will not remove the mats as per your email. So, all right.
All right.
I don't have any more questions.
All right. Well, if nothing else, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's chat here and live stream. Wasn't all about Maverick. Hopefully we got a little bit of EV in there, and we'll talk more. Next week, we'll probably talk a little bit about Bronco, depending on what I learn and what I can share, because I can't talk about the broadcast.
We don't talk about broadcasts.
Which, I don't know. What is really weird is the broadcast for the Bronco Sport, they did not reveal that freewheeling edition and the black appearance package. They didn't talk about either one of those in the broadcast. So I think if there's a new trim or something, they're not going to tell dealers next week. So
yeah,
I think the biggest thing next week is to talk to them about dates, timing, that kind of stuff. Basically everything they've already talked about. Give us our estimate and that kind of thing. And I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So I think now these broadcasters, they've learned that some of the stuff ends up out on social media, so they're not doing that anymore. So But they still want to have them to kind of communicate with dealers in the sense. But I don't think you're going to see the information about what's coming up and what could come out, on those broadcasts anymore. So,
Mark, are you messing with your keyboard too? How about some limes, folks? I think you mean likes. And Gene, it's okay. I knew what you meant.
Yeah. All right.
My dealer's telling me not to place a 24 King Ranch Super Duty. Order estimated 23 may still get scheduled. That is true.
Yeah, like we haven't actually reordered any of our Super Duties yet because we feel like most of them will get scheduled, and it's not like the order banks are like closed.
Closing.
They're not closing. They're not going to close on those. I mean, even this last year with so many people carrying over and people needing to order, and it was scheduled for a while, we didn't see the order banks close for several months. So you're going to have time to put that order in now. So. Will you be moved to be at the front of the line? Maybe not. I don't know. But that would be the biggest thing is if you want to get the 24 because, hey, if your order doesn't, it doesn't hurt to put the 24 in and then cancel that 24 if the 23 gets scheduled. But yeah. So anyway, there you go. All right. But we got this week, so let's see what happens this week. Because then, I think this may be the last week for scheduling for the Super Duty for 23. So see what happens this week. If you don't get scheduled by Friday, then let's go ahead and put that 24 model year order in. So
limes equals tequilas, or sorry,
margaritas.
Margaritas.
There you go. All right. Dang, Matt Winter in his military experience runs a tight ship and isn't letting stuff leak. Yep. Yeah. He actually has not emailed me recently. So I emailed him about that Bronco Heritage Edition private offer and not getting them to show up. And
I'll have to send him cookies.
He gave me some information, but
Ragnarcon,
he didn't email me back again. So I had to get that information from a different source.
So Ragnarcon, if you purchase a vehicle with us, you'll get a nice silver tin of cookies that you would be able to send to him.
If only I knew his address.
There we go. Just start sending them to Ford headquarters. Like, hey, here's some cookies.
We should send those anyway. Let's just send a 10. What's a McArthur 10 of cookies?
Just send them to the brand manager. Send them to everyone that you've been talking to.
Yeah. Send them to Ford headquarters. Care of. Just send a bunch to all the brand managers.
Yes, I'm liking this plan.
All right. Anyway. Well, if nothing else, I think we'll call it a night. Thank you guys very much. You know what? We are going to close this out with the Mustangs from the that were at the Dark Horse R reveal. So they were invited. All these Mustangs were invited in to come in to see the reveal and everything by Ford Performance. And so a lot of these are part of. It was
actually Mustang pretty clubs. Cool. And these are just people with Mustangs that they've modded out, that they've purchased off of lots, ordered and such, and they got to drive them on the track. It was actually pretty cool because they were opening them up. They were having a lot of fun revving them. At one point, we missed getting footage of it. One guy revved, and then the next guy revved, and then it just set the whole herd off of Mustangs. They just all started revving. It was actually really cool to be there.
So here you go. We're gonna end it with this footage. So again, till next week. Thank you very much for for following us. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Don't forget to stay positive, be kind to one another,
and be kind to yourselves.
We'll see you later.